Philip, thanks for taking time out of your schedule today. First, I just want to start off with getting comments from you on hearing the news of the passing of former Northumberland-Peterborough South MP Kim Rudd.
Yeah, so first of all, my condolences to her family and the many people who loved and cared about her in the community. She certainly had a big footprint on our community, and I can remember I remember the first time I met Kim actually, and she was very generous and kind and welcomed me to the race. Very gracious and you know, like a fearsome competitor, really tenacious, and certainly we would argue back and forth the debates, and she was an eloquent speaker and a strong advocate for her positions. But you know, you're on the road. It's sort of a strange relationship being in a campaign, because you do end up spending a lot of time together with the other candidates. And she was always friendly and kind to me, and as passionate and eloquent as she was in arguing for her position off stage, she was a real class act.
Expand on that a little bit for us, because as you stated, you would think with a riding the size of Northumberland-Peterborough South, your paths wouldn't intersect as much as they do, but obviously during debates they would. But even on the campaign trail, it's funny how many of the candidates are always in the kind of the same neighborhood and crossing paths, going from door to door or street to street.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you're going door to door or going to the events, of course, it was an October election in 2019, so the fall fair circuit was well in en route then. And I remember actually the Warkworth Fair quipping to Kim and saying we should carpool to these events. But like I said, she's always kind and generous and professional, and really a tribute to our community. And I know, and that's the thing that as memories jump out, many great qualities, but the one that sort of pops to my mind is the dedication she had to the community. And as myself and other individuals who have served in elected office would know, it takes a tremendous sacrifice. You give up a lot of things in order to serve for your community, and I know Kim always did it with a smile on her face and with a willingness in her heart.
Let's talk about her contributions, not only to her community, but to the riding in Northumberland, Peterborough South, but also the country. As a sitting MP, was the parliamentary secretary for the natural resources. You know, she many community achievements, from Cook's school daycare to our other businesses, to always giving back, to president of the Chamber of Commerce, to working within the riding. The list is long when it comes to Kim Rudd.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And that's my comments with respect to dedication to the community and also to her country. Certainly reverberate based on her actions. She served on Finance Committee, and Finance Committee is usually the hardest working of all of the committees in Ottawa. And she was there for many pre-budget consultations and discussing and meeting with stakeholders, both advocating for locally and for nationally and for the values she believed. And I know that she would work hard for issues such as accessible, affordable childcare and other meaningful achievements throughout her career. So, like I said, an incredible member of our community, was dedicated and hardworking, and it was a pleasure to know her, and certainly something I'll treasure on my journey, my political journey, was the time I spent with you.
Last year, we were able to sit down with Kim as part of our International Women's Day series, and she talks openly. And we were able to post this clip earlier today that after she left her parliamentary secretary role, she was added to the Finance Committee, and before she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, that she was a part of that Finance Committee that for the first time in the history of federal politics, the federal government gave money to the Ovarian Cancer Canada. I do believe she said it was 10 million over 5 years. I do believe is what the statement was. Yes, 10 million over 5 years, and she was part of that Finance Committee that approved that in 2018, and then lo and behold, she was diagnosed in 2020. So certainly an ironic move at that time. Obviously, her not knowing anything was in the future for her health wise, but when you reflect back now, a little bit of irony there, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's it's amazing if you do the right things, you're rewarded, right? And so Kim advocated for cancer research, and she's made the community better. It's one of 1,000 touches that she's had to help our community, and oftentimes you don't even you won't see the terrific work that she did, and but she left a tremendous legacy, and there'll be people better off throughout Canada, throughout our riding, because of Kim's fantastic work.
I'll leave the final word to you here, Philip. As you stated, sometimes when you're on the opposite side of politics, maybe sometimes you don't usually agree, but when those moments are away from the front line and not talking about politics, your fondest memory about Kim.
Yeah, and like I said, a dedicated professional, community-minded, incredibly focused on the people and making life better for everyone. And like I said, my favorite memory is the one I sort of touched upon at the top was the first time I met her. She was incredibly gracious and kind and welcomed me to the race. And like I said, even as we would strenuously argue on the debate floor, and I think we had like 18 million debates that year. And so we had lots of opportunity to trade barbs and to exercise our democratic responsibilities. She off stage was completely professional and kind and generous, and would even provide me with tips here and there. So really a consummate professional, a kind individual, and a great businesswoman and community member.
Yes, and one of those debates was in the YourTV studios, and luck behold, you two ended up drawing numbers to be right beside each other. So it just seemed appropriate that the two combatants that were going to be head to head were side by side in our debate that night.
Yeah, that was as I said, I think all of us did a great job in sort of putting our position out there. And we had Dave Glover there as well, who was moderating it there. And so well, we were definitely strenuously putting forward our best points. And Kim was certainly an excellent debater, a very eloquent speaker. Even after the relatively heated debate, we all shook hands and welcome and wished each other the best. And they said it takes great sacrifice to do what she did, whether it be operating the child care center or serving as a member of parliament or working as a Rotarian or the Chamber of Commerce. Those things come at a cost, but she did it willingly for the betterment of the community. And I'm sure that the community is much better off because of her service.
Philip, thanks very much, and enjoy your time away.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and privilege to serve.